Episode 54 Noob Show. It's me and Frakes. We're gonna
I
be
was
talking.
honestly expecting someone to say roll a d20.
Wrong. Hold on. I got a 4. You got
Shit.
dice?
I got dice handy. Yeah, of course I do. I got a crack between a 15 and a 5. 10.
All right, you beat me. So
Welcome to Noob Show. This is Noob Show where we talk about noobs stuff.
I think today we're talking about kind of shit going on as war stuff. And I think I'm safe to say that neither one of us are like experts on shit.
Oh, not at all. I'm not even an expert on my life.
But I think we are safe to say, fuck you, Vladimir Putin. Noob Show stands against you.
Yes. Noob Show and Homebrew to try to stand against war in all of its forms and factions. But fuck that guy.
Like, I would feel like at this point as a society, why do we even have that kind of shit? Why do we need military spending?
Well, it's 50% of America's budget. 50% of all money that America gets from taxes goes to the military.
It's a lot of it, and I'm not the biggest fan of that.
I've seen the pie chart. Well, I've seen a pie chart, which may or may not be accurate, but if you want to check and do your own research, as the anti-vaxxers say.
Like I said, I think, I don't know, it's dumb. It's a fight for land and like money and shit. But why we gotta do that, bro? Why can't we all just chill? We got those invisible lines marked up. Can't we just keep them?
Yeah. Well, see, the thing about this particular one that has garnered so much attention, in my opinion, because there's still wars happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, think so.
Israel and Palestine have been at war since basically the invention of war.
You're not wrong, dude.
Since the first man picked up a rock to hit another man because he wanted his meat or whatever, we've been killing each other, and we are a species that excels at killing ourselves.
And other things. Don't forget that. Ourselves and other things. We're really good at killing.
We're great at killing. We are a very warlike and violent species. And it's no wonder that aliens haven't come to us to say, hey, join our galactic whatever.
They were about to in Jesus' time, because they're like, Jesus is really cool. And then they saw us nail him to a stick, and they're like, whoa, never mind.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, no, that's we're out.
Yeah. That whole guy that's talking about peace and love and chilling the fuck out, y'all just murdered him. Nah, we'll come back later. Maybe. Yeah. Nah, dude, and like I think you were saying, it's fucking weird because this is like the first war where we have constant updates. As compared, let's say, like, World War II or World War I, you had to wait for the newspaper to come out, and even then their information was like 3 weeks late.
Well, here's the thing that I was thinking about since I brought that up is, we've got constant updates from this war, and we could have had so basically since the Gulf War, right? Since America invaded Iraq. We invaded Iraq. We can call it what we want, but we invaded Iraq. They said it was to do whatever, but
we know it's not good. It's not a good thing.
It's not cool. But America's basically been in some form of warfare since then.
I mean, that's how we came to be. If you really want to get into it, they were like, pay your taxes on tea, and we were like, fuck you.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
That was the only cool war, in my opinion. Revolutionary, baby.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Civil War was for...
Oh, yeah, fuck the rebels, dude. They're a bunch of bitches. We took their asses to the cleaners.
Yes, exactly. Sorry. I'm also trying to boot up my my art computer as well while we're doing this because I want to make sure that I didn't lose my Gisela the Jaguar woman that I was working on.
Oh, I hope you didn't.
I hope so too, but we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, America, the United States, we have been involved in some form of warfare for the past
Since we've been a country.
Years. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, like, yeah, we had so we started the Revolutionary War. We made ourselves a country.
Let's see.
About 100 years later, we had the Civil War. And then we were pretty cool for a while after the Civil War was handled. We had our own shit that we were still dealing with after that.
Oh, and you missed, Frakes, I hate to fact check you here, but I just did a little research here. I hate to interrupt what you said, but we went from the American Revolution to the War of 1812 to the Indian Wars to the Mexican War, then to the Civil War.
Oh, yeah. Mexico, where we had to,
take Mexico's land.
Yeah.
Listen, again, what America did was pretty fucked up this entire time. Oh, there's even smaller wars if you really want to get into it. The Cherokee American Wars, the Northwest Indian Wars, the Quasi Wars. Yeah, we've been in a lot of wars.
We have.
We are a warring nation. And I don't think we should be doing that anymore. Like, why can't we all just get along?
Well, yeah, I don't know why we cannot, as a human race, say, hey, everybody's got enough. Well, part of it is because everybody doesn't have enough. There are people out there who are still starving.
No.
There are people who are still suffering from the lack of basic drinking water.
Yeah. Even in America.
Have an abundance here. Yeah.
Flint, Michigan. Yeah. Can we get that fixed?
It's
still not fixed.
No, it's still not. I was talking to actually it was a random shop owner I was talking to. I stopped by a shop and he asked me how I was doing, and I just did not have the mental energy to sugarcoat or not discuss what was on my brain at the moment. And we were talking about how the human race has the shortest memory in regards to us, right? So
what do you mean by us?
In regards to things that do not directly affect a single person.
The whole, like, if it ain't me, I don't care.
Yeah, and not me, I don't care.
Yeah,
so Flint, Michigan, there's still some people who care about it because there's still people affected by it. Those people who are affected by it care about it. As a whole, we've moved on. Was the problem fixed? No, not at all. Well, fuck it. There's something new and shiny over here. And that's the problem with the 24-hour news cycle. You got to have something fresh and new because nobody wants to keep hearing about the same problem until it's fixed. Just a new problem will come up and it's like, okay, I think that what we do when it comes to human suffering is
put it on a big screen.
We put it on a big screen and we go, oh, that's so terrible. # stand with blank. And then
we do that for 2 weeks and then we forget about it.
2 weeks. It's like trying to solve your problem with a Molotov cocktail. You light the fuse and you throw it and boom, all of a sudden now you have a new problem. But the first problem's still there. But there's a newer one.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not good. And the thing with the news too is they don't really check their shit. And I know that for a fact because I was listening to one of the podcasts I listen to. It's the official podcast, and one of the guy makes YouTube videos on there. And the concept of those videos is like he'll like take an old how it's made video and dub over it and make jokes about it or whatever, say shit that's not real. And it was a how bread is actually made. And they didn't check it because a minute into the video, they're saying that the batter bitch slapper cuts the dough into pieces and teaches it a lesson and shit like that.
That's
and
great.
that was up for a day and a half before anybody took it down.
That's phenomenal.
But yeah, no, it's like, yeah, we look at a thing, then there's a new thing, and then we move on. But that other thing's still not fixed.
Right. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't directly affect us.
I know. I mean, we're all guilty of it. Listen, I'm one of them too.
Oh, I absolutely am. Like, that's when we, right before we started recording, I was like, do we really want to talk about war? It's been less than a month since war broke out in Ukraine. And I'm like, people have moved on. They're past it. But I think the reason that this one has garnered so much attention is because the actual citizenry, the people who were on the ground when this is happening, the non-combatants, the civilians who are being targeted.
Dude, this last Wednesday, they fucking they sent a missile and it hit a fucking maternity hospital.
Yep. I mean, they're attacking civilians. Fuck you, Russia.
That's the definition of total wars when you start attacking civilians.
I don't know, but that sounds plausible.
I'm looking it up. Total war that is unrestricted in terms of weapons used, the territory combat's involved, So basically, just saying, well, no, we're just doing what we want.
Yeah. Well, they're fucking looting everything.
I saw that. Well, apparently the Russian army's like, people have been showing their shit. They're eating MREs that expired in 2015.
Yeah.
Like, they're running out of shit, apparently. That whole grand facade of like
Russia's military might.
Yeah.
Starting to collapse.
And they're getting taken down by this little fucking country. I don't know. My biggest fear is Putin saying, fuck it, and I'm old anyway, and just nuking everything.
Well, see, and that's the other point that I was wanting to get to is a lot of people are complaining about, oh, yeah, Ukraine, people are paying attention to Ukraine. This same thing's been happening in the Middle East. The same thing's been happening in Yemen, but nobody cares about them. And it's like, it's not that nobody cares. It's the fact that the man who's waging this war in Europe has as many nukes as the other country that has the most nukes.
Exactly.
So this could devolve into, the end of the world. They're shooting at nuclear power stations.
Dude, I saw that. It's like, what the fuck, man?
I mean, if this was just a land grab, why are you shooting at something that's going to turn your land into toxic waste? It's not that. It's a power play to show how big and bad Russia is.
Oh, I also want to point out, it's not Russians. Leave fucking Russians alone. Don't fuck with Russian business. Don't fuck with Russian people. Because a lot of them are against it. There's been fucking protests. Like, there's videos of like, is it the Kremlin is like their police?
Yeah, the Kremlin is their White House.
Yeah, the Kremlin is making police officers stop people and go through their phones and check for like, if you're I mean, they've been arresting children and people who are in their 80s and 90s for protesting against this war.
Yeah, arresting children, targeting children. That's how you know who the bad guy is in a war. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, the whole idea of, the Russians are completely lied to about why this war is taking place.
Remember, they call it a special military operation.
Yeah, to liberate.
What we did in Iraq was a special military operation.
That's exactly what it was. It was a special military operation, Operation Desert Storm.
Yeah, let us be clear. We're not like saying our shit don't stink.
Oh no, our shit definitely. Yeah, it's rank. Noob nor I think I can speak for you, Noob. we're not really on the side of the U.S. government when it comes to how they spend their money. I don't need to make dead kids in the Middle East. I need healthcare.
Yeah, stop killing brown kids with my healthcare money.
Yeah, stop saying there's not enough money. Just stop killing people with our money. Fix the roads, fix the infrastructure. Oh my God, I'm turning into the white guy who's shouting into a microphone about shit he doesn't understand.
Okay. I know, and again, we don't understand this completely. We won't say that we're not experts, but like, I would like to not go bankrupt if I break my arm or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I wish that we didn't treat healthcare as if it was a commodity, as if it's a profit-making machine. We really just need to treat people as if they are the priority. But we don't do that. Profit is the priority in this country and in this current world, to be honest.
And that sucks. So, but like,
I'll tell you what blows my mind about this entire Russian war situation is how many markets, how many companies have just removed themselves from Russia.
Oh, that's the other thing about modern warfare too. I say that the modern warfare is that, like I was saying, with that flow of information, companies get pressured by their buyers. Like, hey, why the fuck are you like in there? I saw pictures of like, I don't know if it was like some kind of Russian eBay site because McDonald's pulled out. People are selling their meals like they went, like the lines were fucking long as shit. And people are selling those meals for thousands of dollars trying to get, it's the last Big Mac you'll have, type shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like I saw the line for Victoria's Secret was, out the door and around the corner because you couldn't buy lace underwear anymore.
Yeah, I saw that too, man. It's fucking ridiculous.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. It is because, well, like, before and when the citizenry of a particular country is half a world away, like let's say, for example, hypothetical example, if the United States military invaded a country for to either establish a quote unquote democratic, couldn't get that word out, a democratic regime over what was already there, or to liberate another country, let's just say.
For example,
for a hypothetical example, if the United States military ever did something like that, the citizens of that country are half a world away. They're not there as it's happening to video it and upload that to the internet to show the world what's actually happening, right?
Yeah.
They are relying on their government to tell them, hey, we're going into this country to liberate them from neo-Nazis and fascists, just like the Russian people are being told by their government that that's what's happening. Yeah. But unfortunately, they have friends and family who live in Ukraine who were recording it and showing that's bullshit. That's not what's happening. Here's proof that that's not what's happening. They're shooting at hospitals and residential neighborhoods. And that's what I think is garnering more attention, is the fact that the people who are involved in it are uploading that directly to the internet, and that's getting out to everybody. So everybody can see, it's a great thing. You can see that the propaganda machine that we've been exposed to.
Yeah, no one is immune from propaganda. I'll tell you that right now.
Nobody's immune from propaganda unless you have the truth immediately available to you.
And even then,
challenging immediately, as soon as propaganda pumps up and you have something, no, actually, you know what? The truth has to be out before the propaganda hits. Because people are more likely going to believe the first thing that they see.
Either way, that's always been my point. I was like, you're not immune to propaganda. I'm not. I know I'm not. I fall for it before. I'm sure I'll fall for it again. But be willing to change your stance.
Yeah. I am extremely gullible. I've spent 8 years in a cult. That should tell you how gullible I am.
Huh.
But when facts are presented, when evidence is presented, then I at least have the flexibility of mind to say, oh, I was wrong.
Yeah. I mean,
and I think there's a lot of people in charge who cannot say I was wrong.
And that's the other thing too. It's like we can see the hospital. And sure, there may be a slight chance that somebody from Ukraine is like, I'm gonna do this to make Russia look bad. I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too.
So it's like, okay, if that take that out of the case, then what happened at that hospital? Russia bombed it. That's what and that's that's fucking terrible, dude.
Well, they did show video of Russian Spetsnaz in Ukrainian uniforms getting caught and becoming prisoners of war. But the fact that they were in another country's uniform, well, that's a war crime.
Yeah, there's that's a war crime. Bombing houses is a war crime. I think attacking civilians is a war crime.
Mm-hmm. And now, this is not us just wagging our finger at Putin and Russia and saying, look at all those war criminals. This is, I kind of want to hold a mirror up to our country. We're full of fucking war criminals too.
Yeah. And I want to say this too. I love America. A lot of shit could be fixed about it.
Oh yeah.
Like a fuck that, but that doesn't mean I don't like I always hate that shit. It's like, oh, you don't think it's perfect, then you don't want to live here. No, it's like, I can like something and want it to be better.
If you love something,
you should want it to be better.
You should want to improve it. If you are married or in a relationship and your partner is doing something that is hurting themselves or hurting you or doing something that is unbeneficial and problematic, you don't just say, well, if you love it or leave it. No, you try to fix it. You go to couples therapy. You sit down and you communicate and you talk about what you don't like about certain things. And I don't mean to, equate living in a country as a marriage, but it kind of is.
I see your point.
You have to be willing to fix things if you want to maintain a relationship. And that's one reason that I don't want to maintain a relationship. That's hard. Yeah. Fixing problems is hard. I don't want that responsibility.
But I think I'm going to circle back to shit like World War I was such a game changer in the fact that all this new technology came out. And then right after it, we were like, we got to ban most of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
ooh, hey,
World War I was the reason they're like, all right, no more using poison gas on the enemy, which is something you wouldn't think you would need to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, that gas that turns people inside out and makes them go crazy? Yeah, we shouldn't use that anymore.
You're not allowed to use that no more. Can we all agree not to use that no more? All right. That's like how they were trying to ban like when America was using shotguns in the trenches. I think at a point they were trying to ban that too.
Well, yeah, because you hop down in a trench, which is just a path, a very narrow path.
Well, yeah, path is
like other
like
soldiers. You just send buckets of lead down there in one shot. Yeah, I could see why they would want to get rid of that.
No, yeah, I don't know, but I do know there's a couple of things about war. It breeds innovation.
Yeah, I mean, in certain aspects, like how better to kill your fellow man. Yeah.
Well, no, the internet actually came from, I want to say, World War II.
Yeah, yeah.
It was not a direct invention, but they're like, we need a better way to communicate instantly. And then they're like, what if we had a bunch of computers connected by a wire? And they did that. Like, I think technically the internet was first invented in the 1960s.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know the dates and the times.
Sorry,
because
1983, which is still fucking early.
Yeah,
anybody.
But the idea for it, I'm sure, came from around.
Yeah,
like the internet as we know it, 1980s. But I know that the military had different like LAN systems and different networking systems that they used. And yeah, there are a lot of things that war does that could be considered beneficial.
But at the covered cost, people die, and that's fucking terrible. I think.
Yes. Like, yeah, it definitely will curb population for a little while with all the deaths. But then when people get home, there's going to be another baby boom. And it's like, it doesn't really affect the population that. Hang on. I want to say this in the most sensitive way possible and in the way that doesn't make me come across as like callous and assholish. But over a long enough time period, it doesn't change the world population very much.
Yeah, because I mean, we are at our most population we've ever been at in the world, you know?
Yeah. And it's only going to keep becoming more because people ain't going to stop fucking.
I mean, you're not wrong there.
Yeah. If there's one thing humans are really good at, it's breeding.
And killing. We're good at breeding and killing.
Yep. Killing and breeding. That is, I mean, we're space orcs.
I will say the World War II, when all the Americans and shit came back, you know, the war was over, World War II. That did change our society a good chunk because that was the time when you were like, there was so much money. It was like, you're 18, you have enough money, go buy a house and live it on your own. Because, you know, before it was like other countries, you know, you kind of just live with your family until something big changes, like someone dies or you needed to move for a job or something. You'd like live with your family in a family style home.
Right.
Like, and I guess probably then it was the you know, the wife moves in with the husband's home, right?
And you had like an extended you lived with your extended family, not just, oh, here's my wife and my kids, but here's my wife and my kids, and here's my parents who also take care of us, and the homestead. You had a homestead, not just a house.
I know, and I'm all about that shit, dude. Like we're kind of slowly going back to that, not because we want to, because of money. I mean, that's how most other countries live their life too. It's like, you know, you get married, you don't really move out. Your parents stay with you and you help them through their life.
Well, I could not stay with my dad. I love my father. He is honestly one of the best people who I know when it comes to me and my brother. He'd do anything for us if we asked him. And I love him to death, but the man drives me absolutely insane. And it's just because it's the only reason that is true is because he and I are too similar. Like everything that annoys me about me, I see in him. And it's like, oh, okay. You know what, Dad? Whenever I'm around you, I cannot ignore the qualities in me that make me just want to curl up into a ball and sleep all day. So I'm going to move to Florida. Bye. Well, that's my own personal issues.
I know. I wish you'd come back. Come back, Frakes.
I know. It's getting kind of untenable to a degree here. Gas is $5 a gallon.
Oof, dude, I was so excited because I saw gas was $3.99 yesterday.
That's
I stopped and filled up. It was still a lot, but it was like, I guess
still $4 a gallon. Yeah. No, I had been putting off putting gas in my car. I was like, ooh, I need to get gas. I'm like, I'm at half a tank. It's fine.
Maybe it will go down.
I only drive 10 miles or 10 minutes to work. It's fine. And then overnight, it jumped $2 from what I was looking at. I was like, oh, well, shit. Now I'm on empty and I got to fill up.
Honestly, my best advice for when you know the gas prices are going up, when you get to about a half a tank, go ahead and top it off because it could go up next week.
That's good advice. But
and then technically you pay less. It doesn't hurt as bad because it's only half.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to
try
not.
to I try to top off whenever I'm at half a tank anyway, just in case I gotta go somewhere, you know.
How long does it take you to get gas?
Well, no, I mean like go somewhere all day, like driving all day. You know, I like to have a full tank of gas just in case. Like, what happens if I'm, you know, I get the warning sign that nukes are coming? Actually, if that happens, I'm just gonna step outside and welcome it.
Now
what am I gonna? You can't run.
I'm gonna grab my pistol, put it to my head, and wait until it hurts too much.
Oh, you won't have time. Well, actually no. You're what, 40 minutes away from Charleston? 40 miles away from Charleston?
Yeah, but we're about 50 miles away from Charleston. We'll have some time.
Yeah, you'll see the flash first.
Dude, I saw it was like a map of nuke, or like it was like a map of places that could, like, had benefit of being nuked. I was like, there shouldn't be nothing in South Carolina. I was like, oh, most of this place is fucked.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Big old port city.
No, one of the biggest port cities, if not the biggest port city. And hold on, let me look this up real quick. Biggest port.
I know Jacksonville's right on that list because not only do we have a giant port here, we also have NAS Jax, which is the Naval Airspace or Naval Air Station for pretty much the entire southern East Coast.
No, we're the fourth largest. We're the fourth largest post in America. The number one in America is the port of Los Angeles, and the biggest one in the world is the port of Shanghai.
Wow. Yeah.
It's a little farther than I thought. But anyway, I think it's a good time, Frakes, to roll a D20.
Well, do we? All right. What? I was wanting to tell my bathroom story.
We'll get to that. That's a different episode.
Okay. I got a 5.
I got a 10, so close out the show.
It's not, that shouldn't be how that works.
It's my show.
I make the rules. Well, you've been listening to Noob Show, a subsidiary of Homebrew Detritus Productions. You can find more Noob Show and more of our role-playing games and cartoons and all the other stuff that we do at homebrewdetritus.com. And